Hey everyone, welcome to GameGorgon. My name's Indigo.
And I'm Krug, and today we have a very special guest.
I don't think this is gonna work like this.
Oh.
Yeah, could I just need...
Do we need to go in more?
No, you're in my bubble.
Oh.
You're in my bubble.
Sorry,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
I thought we agreed we were not gonna put that on YouTube.
Oh.
Those videos are behind the paywall.
Hi everyone, welcome to GameGorgon. My name's Indigo.
And I'm Krug, and today we have a very special guest, B-Dave. Everybody say hello.
Hello. Easter egg, I'm in the freaking QueueTimes logo. I'm the freaky gigantic
It's
one.
not. Yeah, it's not an Easter egg. He's the biggest thing in there.
It is not randomly that they have a caricature that looks like me.
By size,
We're like, all right,
background.
we have to have a really tall, bald black guy. Just
True.
somewhere in the
Somewhere.
logo.
Yeah. Affirmative action, baby. Yeah.
So, Dave, the reason we're having you on is because we wanted to talk about a project that you're working on that kind of fits in really well with our audience, which is a new comic book that you have coming out.
Yes, I am writing the new official Dungeons & Dragons comic book, Dungeons & Dragons: A Darkened Wish, for IDW Publishing, with the artist Tess Fowler, who is ridiculously, astonishingly incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
Oh,
it,
yeah.
it should be dropping late February. It was February 20th. Actually, now I don't know if it's still February 20th.
I'm just whoever's editing this is just gonna put the date.
Yeah, right. Well, but here I have the solution. Pre-order it at your local comic shop or at Comixology, and when it comes out, you can has.
You'll get a phone call saying, "Hey, your comic's here." Oh well,
Exactly.
I actually started following Tess on Twitter because I enjoyed the artwork so much.
Yes.
Like I was like, oh, I need to start seeing other stuff that you do.
Yes, no, it is amazing what she's done, and I got one of the most interesting things about the creative process, especially in a comic book, is seeing the things that I come up with, how she interprets that and brings it to life. And it is really astonishing what she's been able to accomplish, especially because this story in particular takes place over a number of years. And the way that she's able to portray them aging and still clearly being them is really an interesting thing.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Hey, so while you're talking about the plot and the story of the comic, can you just spoil the ending for us really quick?
Yes. So the hobbits go to the mountain and they throw the ring in, but Gollum sort of like catches it like a touchdown pass, and then boom.
And then like Terminator thumbs
Yeah.
up.
Right. No, Gollum died happy. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Like, he won. Like, he got the precious back and then sort of died. Well,
Actual
you know
spoilers.
What? I mean,
I know.
if
I
you don't
get it.
know
I'm
by
with
now.
it. I'm with it.
Yeah, it's been like 15, 20 years. Yeah.
Oh, don't remind me how long it's been.
Oh, no, yeah.
Well, okay, how long is the series?
Believe it or not, though, I will give you a minor spoiler, an Easter egg, a QueueTimes exclusive.
Ooh.
The way the book ends ties in directly to the next summer D&D event.
That's good.
I went
like
all
that.
Masked Singer on you there with my like vague clues.
How long is this run going to be?
5 issues.
5 issues.
Yeah, it's a 5-issue story.
Okay, I can dig that. Now, is there any other projects that you're planning on working with?
That's sort of up to you in the aforementioned pre-order at your local comic shop or on Comixology. I will say, we went back and forth about how many issues it was supposed to be. Believe it or not, wotc, Wizards of the Coast, wanted more, and IDW wanted less, because we haven't worked together as a team yet. Sure. And so we kind of averaged it out at 5. And Wizards of the Coast requested an ending that very much would lend itself to doing more stories.
Oh, great.
I'll say that.
Oh, that's
good.
Yeah.
Now,
That's
once it comes out, are you and Tess planning on doing any sort of signings, or is there any sort of events that
Yes.
us local folk can go and see?
We will be all over the place. We're definitely gonna hit up as many local shops as we can. We're in and around Burbank, so I don't want to name drop anybody yet until we get it booked. But yeah, we will try and be everywhere. And I kind of like meeting people and pressing the flesh, so I sort of drag Tess along. So yeah, you'll have lots of opportunities to see
Pressing
us.
the flesh a saying?
It is, yeah, press the flesh.
Oh,
man.
like when you handshake, right?
Yeah, I mean,
That is-
again, the other ones are behind the paywall.
yeah. I forgot about the paywall. My bad.
Yeah, right. Yeah, people are all like, paywall? Go on.
Yeah, because I know specifically, I bought 2 copies.
Hey!
I pre-ordered 2 copies. One, because I'm going to make you and Tess sign them. And then the other one I'm actually going to read.
Hey,
One
guess,
for eBay, one for you.
guess what? There's 2 covers.
Oh,
there you go.
see?
There's,
There you go.
there's a variant cover for every issue. Yes.
Oh, okay.
And if you don't follow Tess Fowler on Twitter, she has posted images of the first 2 covers. I don't think she's posted 3 yet. I mean, I've seen it.
All right.
Yeah.
Weird flex, but okay.
Yeah, right. No,
All right,
no.
can you give us at least a little bit of, like, understanding of what it's going to be? We understand it's going to be a fantasy Dungeons and Dragons style comic, but what's it about? Who's this group? Why do we care about them?
I really wanted to make it like a hardcore fantasy epic.
Okay.
I was kind of joking about the Lord of the Rings, but it really is more a story in that vein. Like, it is far more Lord of the Rings than the Saturday morning cartoon. And we follow this group of heroes basically across their life from when they were teenagers to roughly in their 40s. We don't say exactly, but you know, over a number of decades. And we get to see them grow up from fresh recruits in the Moonshay Isles, which is where this story is going to be set, all the way up to becoming these iconic, legendary heroes that actually have to come out of retirement to save the world one last time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I can super dig that. We're starting. Is there like a congruent storyline, or is it kind of like flash back and forth?
It's both.
Okay.
It's the best example I can come up with is actually kind of like Highlander in the sense where it's like they find themselves in a situation and then you sort of get a flashback to gain some context and then resolve the situation. It's roughly kind of how it goes. The Forgotten Realms timeline is a little wonky, as you might notice, but basically when they're fully adults, they're basically contiguous with what's happening in the realms. And then when they go back younger, it goes back to some specific points in realms history that are going to be some fairly iconic events that they themselves will then be present for to witness these things happening, basically.
Do you want to talk a little bit about how you got the opportunity to do this in the first place?
I blackmailed a lot of people. The actual journey was slightly twisty, but I love talking about this kind of stuff because people want to ask me about these kind of things.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people online would you're somebody we know. And
Yes.
It's just so kind of like surreal at times to be like, oh, look what you're doing.
That
That's
is,
awesome.
yeah. Hey, again, I'm in the banner image, and now here I am on the couch. It's like we started from the bottom.
What I'm
now
saying
we're
is,
here.
what I'm saying is, so you joined QueueTimes logo, then you got signed.
That's literally
Correlation and causation are 2 different things.
true.
We don't support fake news.
They're not, yeah.
That's not how facts work.
But it's not true. That's all I'm saying.
I'm out.
It
Bye.
may not be measurable. We don't know that that's not what happened. I was working on a digital comic called Electropunk, which is out in the wild. Unfortunately, we didn't get to finish it. Hopefully, we'll get to revisit it at some point. Was very proud of Electropunk. Out of that, my Electropunk co-creator, Jeff Wamister, introduced me to another guy who'd written a novel
Okay.
and wanted the novel adapted to a comic book. So I started working on that for him, and I was looking for an artist, and I knew Tess from Twitter and from the CR fan art community. And so I hit Tess up, and I was like, I need an artist for this book. Let me know if you're available. Here's the script. And she read it, and she was like, I like it a lot, but it's basically a drama. And she's like, that's not my thing at all. So she's like, if it turns out that the main character has been a werewolf the entire time, call me. Otherwise, not really my thing.
Sure.
And I was like, cool, no problem. I get it. It's not your style. Fast forward about 6 months, she hits me up and is like, so I know you write comics. Are you interested in writing a D&D comic? And I literally,
You're like, duh.
I literally was like, stop right there. I'm in. Yeah. And I was
Don't
like,
care about the rest.
I need no other details.
Yeah.
The answer is yes. And over the course of the first conversation, I pitched her a story and she loved it. Believe it or not, I will give you another
Ooh.
QueueTimes
Look how
exclusive
good we are at
Easter egg.
this.
It's true. It's true.
Didn't even ask for it.
This is
Just
what I have to
happens.
do to keep those pictures you've got of me off the internet. or at least behind the paywall. Right, that's it. I mean, people want to pay for it. My hands are tied. Like they are in some of the pictures.
Yeah, I'm glad you went there and I didn't have to.
I can self-alley-oop. In the midst of me being clever, I forgot. Oh, this story actually is an adaptation of some old World of Warcraft fan fiction.
Really?
Oh.
Yes. So I had some characters and situations that I'd created in a very different context that I always loved, and I was able to take them and adapt them and basically make them far more three-dimensional. But I was very easy, even in the first conversation, to be like, well, I got these characters and I'd like to do this with them, and I pitched it overtly as a story of these veteran heroes coming out of retirement to save the world one last time, and Tess was super into it, and the time jumping and making it generational and everything, and we were basically a unified front. And at the time, I was just in contention for the book.
Right.
I was competing with other writers, some of which were some of them were far more well-known than I am. So, quite frankly, I fought dirty. And I went to WotC because I know all of them because of my work with last summer's event and streaming and everything. I had a chance to become friends with all those people. And I was like, yo, if I get this book, I'll do a streaming tie-in, and then I pitched them this whole thing. So I won over WotC on the back end. So I actually convinced WotC before I convinced IDW, and it was kind of getting squeezed on both sides, and it was a done deal at that
Connections
point.
work.
They do. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Isn't
folks.
it? Isn't it? It's not who you know; it's who you blow, right? Wait.
Behind the
Behind
paywall.
Behind the paywall. Behind the paywall.
Yeah, right. I mean, again,
Answers to that question and more available behind the paywall.
I'm just saying, this is a non-stick couch. That's all I'm saying.
It's not, trust us.
I-
No, because I was talking about. Never mind. There's nothing I can say to dig myself out of.
Nope.
That.
Nope. Not at
So
all.
we're just gonna abort the statement.
Okay, so you had mentioned this streaming. We have not talked about it. What can you talk about it?
What's the date? When does it start? I'm gonna start asking questions I know you don't know the answer to.
Yeah, and you know, the normal me is I would just make some shit up, but this is the internet, and people
Yeah,
be
yeah.
like, no, he said,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
We're still finalizing a home for it.
Okay, cool.
Pretty sure I know where it's going to be. Also pretty sure I know what day of the week it's going to be, but I don't want to say anything just
Yep.
on the off chance it doesn't happen.
Yep.
But the show should launch roughly in tandem with the book.
Okay.
Okay.
So when the book drops, it should either be the same week or maybe the week after.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
And if
again,
you
of course,
watch-
there's a lot of moving parts.
Of course,
but, you know,
yeah. If you watch QueueTimes social media, we'll absolutely be like retweeting that stuff all day long. So if you're curious as to when that live stream is going to start, that's a good place to find out.
Yeah, roughly February. I mean, if it's
If the book's coming out in February, that
yeah.
sounds, yeah.
roughly, I mean, the very tail end of February, maybe the tip right beginning of March, but there-ish. Because the hope is the show will be done before the WotC summer event, which
Right.
is roughly June-ish.
Yeah.
Now that I don't know. I am not speaking for Wizards of the Coast.
We'll bleep that out.
Right, sure. But roughly June-ish. And of course we have D&D in a Castle in July, so
Yep.
got to get all this out and done before we go do that.
Yeah. Now, if there's still spots for D&D in the castle, is that something people could do? And
Yes. Last time I checked, we did still have some spots for our Uncommon Trust D&D in a Castle event. Thank you for setting that one up for me.
I mean, you said it, and I just brought it back home.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah. In worst case, join the mailing list. There was a waiting list before. You can join the mailing list. You'll get notified when something becomes available. It is a Dungeons and Dragons experience. It's going to be immersive. We're going to have a Barovian ball. There's an actual pub. There's going to be a man in black at the tavern, which is probably me. But yeah, should be a good time. Really looking forward to that.
And then you guys can actually watch Dave, as well as the entire Uncommon Trust, here Sundays on Twitch.
Yeah.
And then their VODs come out on Tuesday on YouTube.
So what is it that way? I'm trying to think of how I'm going to look on YouTube.
You're just pointing at me at this point.
No, the suggested videos will be be that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't
good.
know.
They're
Flip
over
the
there.
image for just this one
Right.
So
shot.
it's wrong.
Right,
So it's
then
wrong.
I'm just
Yeah.
like pointing up. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Uncommon Trust works also with Saving Throw.
Yep.
Yes.
And is there anywhere else?
We've We've been on Geek and Sundry and done some stuff.
Yes.
We basically will go and say words wherever anybody will let us.
Yeah, well, and I mean, you specifically have 2 shows on Geek and Sundry now, right?
I do. Although, let me just say one thing about before I go on to that.
Sure.
Yeah, the whole point behind the what we were trying to accomplish with the Uncommon Trust was to be a group of performers that transcended any one show or channel.
Yes.
So the fact that we're kind of all over the place was the plan, and quite frankly, the plan is working, largely thanks to you all. Thank you. So every Sunday at noon, we broadcast live now with the Uncommon Trust Presents, where we're doing like 3 and 4 shot stories and letting everybody DM, which has been a lot of fun. On Tuesdays, on Alpha, Where Life Frontier comes out, that Alquin and I are on that show. And then Fridays, I'm on a little show called Vampire the Masquerade LA by Night.
Yeah, just little. No one's ever seen it.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's small,
Yeah.
like...
It's like whatevs. I mean, you got to be like cool to hear about it, but
Yeah.
like whatever. Yeah. That is at 8 o'clock PST on Geek and Sundry.
Is there any, but, like, I'm going to ask you this while you're drinking. What is the other places people can follow you and find out where more content that you create comes from?
I am at B Dave Walters on all the things. And I'm sure when we get done on here, I'm going to think of like, oh, there's the 5 things I didn't mention. Yeah. But I talk about them on the Twitters and on the Instagrammers and on the Facebookers.
Well, and you do a lot of live stuff too. Like when you're on social media, you do a lot of Instagram and Twitter live stuff. And so it's like you get a lot of like interest. You're wearing Kraken Dice beanie that you did a live stream unboxing with that, even though you didn't find it.
So, yeah, Kraken Dice sent me a holiday box like a month ago, and it had like dice and all this like delightfulness in it, and I took it out and I was so happy. And then yesterday, it just so happens I was messing with my dice and I dropped one in the box, and so I turned the box over looking for the die I lost, and more stuff fell out of the box. Which I really didn't know.
That's flawless.
There was the beanie was in there. There's like a miniatures map. There was like all kinds of like a second layer of like sedimentary swag under the dice. Yeah, so
Sounds
now
like a good band name.
That is a good band name. You can have that internet, but I want points on the album. Okay, sedimentary swag. Yeah, and they gave us some dice that we just gave away today on QueueTimes.
Yes.
Hopefully we can get them to hook you up. You're going to be able to give away more dice soon on QueueTimes.
Yeah, we're trying to many ventures, reaching out to a bunch of different people right now.
Diversify your portfolio.
Exactly. And if you want to follow QueueTimes, since you've already clearly gone and followed Dave, and for some reason haven't followed us, even though you're on our YouTube channel.
They came here for me.
You can.
I wouldn't be surprised.
You can, you can follow me on Twitter at IndigoQT.
You can get me at QueueQT on Twitter, and you can talk to all 3 of us if you want to at these social media things down here. There's 4 of them. We're never going to get 4 people on this couch, but we can always fit 4 social media platforms.
I mean, you can paywall.
Yeah. Paywall. True. Yeah, you tell us where the 4th person goes. Man.
Down in the comments below.
Please keep it PG.
Yeah, don't get us banned.
All right, we're going to get out of here so that we can start the paywall. All right.
Ooh, yeah, I got to hydrate.